Good morning, welcome back to the trail. And as you may have guessed, we are in the beautiful Lake District, and we're walking the Ullswater Way, which is a kind of recent 20-mile trail that goes around the Ullswater Lake, and it let's say 20 miles long, and it was established around about 2016. And I came here, I've done this route twice, and I came here just before then as they were building the path, and man, I've forgotten the beauty of it. Let me turn you around, guys. There are loads of little walkways where people have gone to get that scenic view, as you'd expect in the lakes. So we're going to be following it all the way around, counterclockwise, and there's a potential to go up onto those two fells there, them hills, but I'll decide that nearer the time. Magnificent. So we've started the trail at Pooley Bridge. It's about an hour and 15 from where I live. Quite a long drive, you know, it just feels like a long drive. But we're going to try and do, well, we are going to do this 20-mile route. There is a 24 mile challenge version. I've not seen any details other than one organisation who perhaps maybe it's their own route for a fell runner. So we're going to stick to the clearly waymarked path, which you've seen. And yeah, I'm expecting some beautiful views. A little bit chilly today, a little bit windy. They'd given good weather where I was, but obviously I didn't check the weather when I got up here. So I think we're going to get cloudy with a bit of sunshine. And we're off to a good start. Goes! Let's hope Lake District cars are better than Bowland Fell cars. So, back to what I was saying. So far, very well sandmarked. Quite a few years ago, way before it became an official route, the actual walk around the lake was recommended to us, me, my wife, and what would have been then a 10-year-old, I think. We did the walk, and yeah, it was quite a challenge, but it was lovely because we had such good weather. It was quite popular. It was at a weekend, I think. So I'll come today on a Friday in the hopes of beating the madding crowd. Second time I did it was with the boys, Tim and Denby. Again, and at that point, I think it was about 2015. They were just building it, just laying the official trail. And towards the end, I think we ran out of time. It got dark. And it became a lot of road walking because the path that we're on now hadn't been built. So I remember we asked a guy at a car park if he'd give one of us a lift to the other car park where we'd left the car, and he did. He gave me a lift, and I drove the car back to pick the lads up, so we didn't quite finish it. So now we're back walking the official way, and I'm panting because it's quite a lot of uphill here. So my main criticism of the lakes is Lake District culture, and I'll get into that later. But the lakes themselves, you cannot fault the uniqueness of that scenery. And it's no surprise that people come from other countries, come from miles around to be here, to actually walk some of these fells. And you can see the love that Wainwright had for him, even though the grumpy old man hated the fact that it got so popular. But sadly, he is the reason it's so popular. He made it popular and he made it accessible to most people with his maps and his sketches. But yeah, you can't fault the uniqueness, the absolute beauty of it. I mean, there's the Ullswater behind us. You can just see the hills rolling away. That isn't the Bowland Fells, that isn't the Peak District, it's its own beauty, its own sort of design. And I'm finding, and the more I travel around and visit specific areas like the Bowland Fells, you can start to see the uniqueness of each location. They don't seem to be the same, they don't look the same, they all have different nuances. And like if you go down to Wales and go around the Snowdonia National Park, you see another different, unique landscape. It's what makes hiking so enjoyable. So we are on the road to Bennett Head. Bennett! Right, killing a little bit too much. And before there was the ruins of a castle, but completely submerged under grass, and they always make it to a map as if they're a major point of interest, maybe to an archaeologist, but there's nothing to see literally above ground except the sort of divots where things were. I'm liking the fact that this route is completely signposted, brilliantly signposted. Well done, council. Anyway, by the by. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I've got a new piece of kit. I will introduce you to him. I'm going to call him Gary the Garmin. It's the eTrex 32. And after the Way Away, my 7-part epic 3-dayer, I decided that the phone had two major drawbacks for navigation. First of all, the obvious one's the battery. I find that nowhere. Ullswater Way tuck shop. I'm stopping to have a look. I'm not quite sure what I'd do with the eggs. I love it. Said it before and I'll say it again, that's my kind of interruption. Got 2 chocolate bars in a can. And my policy with those kind of places is if someone's willing to do that, and every credit to them for doing it, I'm going to get some stuff even if I don't need it, put a little extra in the box. So I love it. I love people who do that kind of thing. May they get the blessing they deserve for feeding a Christian on his path. So yeah, that's on the way to Bennett Head, coming from Ullswater Bridge, if you FYI. And I can't even remember what I was saying, I was so excited to see that. So yeah, on to Bennett Head. Yeah, Gary the Garmin, that was it, Gary the Garmin. eTrex 32 GPS, and I said one of my main drawbacks for using the phone is obviously the battery, because I've started using a Live 360 app so my family can track where I am, because they were quite concerned that when I was hiking solo they had no idea where I was, and it's kind of interesting for them to watch. So I've done that for them. Makes common sense, doesn't it? The second reason I'm trying to move away from the phone is that I find in my concentration and my ability to relax my brain has completely gone haywire. And when I did some research and prayed about it, I found a lot of clinical studies saying that because you're constantly logging onto the phone, getting those little mild dopamine hits, your brain is then training itself to be constantly entertained, and it can no longer sort of relax. So it's actually encouraged that you spend more time being bored, so to speak. And they say that after about 8 hours, your brain then settles down, relaxes, and can then let your mind wander naturally. which is where in the past I used to do that a lot, and some of my best story ideas, some of my best books, some of them just generally my best thinking is done once my brain relaxes. So I'm just going to try for a bit, using the phone a lot less, trying not to be distracted, but I am obviously still uploading to Instagram occasionally, and making sure my family, who use Life 360 to track where I am, are kind of confident they know I'm okay out here going solo. So hope that makes some sense. Again, the signs are everywhere. I'm liking it. So there's two paths coming out of Bennett Head. Sorry, you're going to get a lot of references to Bennett today. So we're going down to Ullswater Beck, which is the normal route, except in wet weather the trail can be really muddy, so there was a sign on the fence even warning you that if it was, you can take the roadway, which I'll partly walk down before realising, to the next town along the next village, pick up the trail from there. So it does signpost you two directions, but clearly states why. So the E-Trex 32, this Garmin, Gary, who will be called Gary from now on, it got a lot of slander, and for 200 English pounds right at this time of the year, 2022, that's how much it's cost me. It does look like, I'll put it on for you, I'll get my hand, my hand's in the way, can't really see. I will do a gear review on it, but it does look like a Nokia 3210. Has all the basic functions of an old mobile phone, and he got a lot of slander for that, but I think that's a bit naive, because the thing about that kind of equipment back in the day is it worked. It didn't have half the problems. It's obviously, as technology's advanced and grown, you can do a lot more just with a mobile phone than you could do back in the day. More to go wrong, more power needed, more processing power. I mean, your mobile phone now has the processing power of all the computers at NASA when we landed on the moon. So things have come a long way. So a needle pulling thread. I'm not a fan of Sound of Music, totally not a fan, totally. I can't do it, I've got to say so. Therefore, in getting a device that is just purely for navigation, I'm more than happy for these basic controls, basic display, basic screen, and it runs on AA batteries. I mean, that in itself is fantastic, because you can carry batteries with you. And its accuracy has been compared to the satellite accuracy of iPhones, and it holds its own. So there we go. I'll be using that from now on. I've used it a couple of times now. It's on a Velcro lanyard, which has been replaced, because if you get it from Garmin, the lanyard it comes with is absolutely shocking. It sticks to the Velcro, so I've replaced it with paracord. And so far so good. Uploaded the GPX file to it, and I'm navigating with it. So not as detailed obviously as an OS map on an iPhone, but I've not used my phone, which is great. be prepared, that's quite a climb. Sort of a winding gravel path up onto Priest Crag. Not the worst I've ever done, but yeah, got warm work. Yeah, Priest Crag, and we're going to stay on the elevation, and there's a break off point I've put on the map with a question mark whether I want to grab the trig, because I was thinking I really don't want to do any more climbing than I have to. But now that I've come up onto Priest Crag, studied the map a bit more carefully, boots on the ground intel, I can see we're just at the same elevation, or a little smidgy below the trig point, so we might as well just grab it, I think, if that is definitely what's going on. So yeah, you've got to climb. I suppose you've got to climb around these areas because you're not going to get the best views of the lake from down below. I ain't taking no pictures from down there, sonny. Yeah, happy so far. And the one thing I can say about Gary, he's recording the exact mileage. So when I say how many miles we've done, you know it's accurate. Not my random rule of thumb guessing. Dead reckoning. Let you see that. 3.84 miles walked. Moving time 1 hour and 8 minutes. Moving average 3.4 miles an hour. Not quite sure. I think it's a bit accurate on that for the minute. But yeah, 3.8 miles done already. So we climbed up and into Swinburne's Park, and again, warm work, just a short sharp climb to get up onto the elevation, and we're approaching that break off point. It's lovely and peaceful though. It keeps trying to rain, but then the clouds move on, so I'm hoping it's going to stay dry for most of the day. Didn't even bother with a flask today or a stove. Sticking with the ultralight theme. Plenty of water. But I'm hoping to come across a cafe, because it is quite a popular route. Obviously we're in the lakes, and as we've seen already with the little shop, people are aware of the hikers. So I'm hoping for a brew later on. So our first detour is coming up. Working together, protect the red squirrels. Swinburne's Park. Heavily graffitied. I didn't see the other two Hedwick stones. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. So we're coming out of here. We've got a gate with a finger post just up there, and it's going to give us a choice whether to go up to the trig point or not, and have a think about it. Get back to you in a minute. So there's our options. Up to the summit, or carry on down near the water's edge. Either way we'll end up at area force, and obviously that's the way we've come. So it's actually shorter to the summit, but obviously we've got extra on the other side, so it's that way. And then up. Look at my lovely pink arms. Yeah, that way up and round. So yeah, we're going to go for it. know what the key to hill walking is? That's right, don't do it. Yeah, my advice is always little and often. Do a little bit of it, stop, look up ahead, pick a waypoint, maybe a rock. Just walk to the rock. Don't try and walk to the summit in one go. Right now I might just go to that rock formation there. Again, it's just coaching your mind to get you up there. Anyone who says they enjoy hill climbing, that person's a liar. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's you. You're lying to yourself and to us. Anyway, nearly there. As you can tell, the wind is blowing a gale. Here we are at the trig point. Woman was up here already, so I'm not on my own. Boosh! It was worth it. I wonder what it's like on some of those peaks up there. What can you say to that view? You can see the wind sweeping across the surface of the lake. Look at it. Why is this a shore? Anyway, we're going that way. That was kind of a exhausting descent, that. Saw two people going up, one with camera gear, not hikers per se, but going up with the good cameras. Good spot for it as well. Beautiful views. So we're heading down to Air Force, as you saw from the sign. 1 mile. It should be, dare I say, quite flat now. Or at least we won't be going up any trig points till nearer the end, but I can't see me going up to the cockpit. I don't know, never say never, but it's quite a hike. We'll see.